Welcome to the next episode of Water Park Rangers Let's Play Pikmin. In the last episode, we finished up work at the impact site, and in this episode, we are returning to the Forest of Hope in hopes of completing the area. Now that we have blues, the rest of the parts here are basically they're open for us to claim, and that means we could probably get them all in one day if we do it well. But at the same time, I should probably mention that you can technically get all the parts here, I think, if you sequence break. Now, what does sequence break mean if you've never heard that term before? Well, that basically means getting stuff when the game didn't intend you to be able to do it. Because the remainder of the parts here are protected by water, but there are ways of getting your Pikmin around water. But we're just going to play it fair for the most part. You might remember back in the Forest Naval when we got the gravity jumper, you know, that spring on the platform. We did do a kind of sequence breaking there, which is very simple. Now, you probably have noticed that the dwarf bulbs have returned, and that's really not so much a problem. There are also these enemies here called wogpoles, and they're one of those enemies that aren't really, like, enemies. They don't really fight you. Now, just go to this little dry land area here. It's the best place to stand, and then just rapid throw all the blue Pikmin up here so they can start working on that bridge. Now, the thing I'll mention about wogpoles is that they don't actually turn into full-grown wollywogs. They're just always here. They don't really cause any problems. If your Pikmin actually do try and fight them, they run around quite a bit, so they can be annoying to defeat. And they only give 2 Pikmin when you bring them back anyway. And now you've seen also a couple of termites have turned up near the water. Now fortunately, you can lure the purple ones into the water, and they will chase you and drown. I always loved that little thing. And now you can also get the other ones to drown. It's just not as easy. Might as well just punch them out. Now you're wondering, why would I hurt the poor innocent shearwigs, especially the kind that can't hurt your Pikmin? Well, the fact is, they can't hurt your Pikmin, but sheargrubs. But all those termites / sheargrub shearwig enemies also have a second ability, which is to chew apart any of those bridges that you create. And that is very annoying because it means you have to go back and build a bridge that you've already built. I'm just taking out a couple of these dwarf bulbs here so that when we carry that part back, we don't have to worry about them. Yay! And the bridge is finished. Now that that's done, unfortunately I don't think the Pikmin will just carry it through the water. We do also have to move this bridge, so let's get it out of the way. Shouldn't take long, but bridges get completed really quickly in the second with relatively small amounts of Pikmin. But bridges do take generally longer to build in this game, even with 100 Pikmin working on it, as you can see. Also, on another note, I always loved how the water looks in this game. I mean, especially for 2001, like, game graphics. I still think it looks amazing. Just like the way that the sky and stuff is reflected on it. Well, enough of that. There's the ship part right across there. And I think this one is... I found my Sagittarius. My son gave this to me as a present. It brings to mind visions of my son back home on planet Hockatate. Oh, to be back there right now. Alright, let's just pick it up. I have no idea how it helps a ship fly better. And you actually need that part to escape, too. So apparently his son designed something essential for his ship so essential that it couldn't really fly without it. Like, successfully. Yay! Critical hit. No! Thank you. Yes, another thing that's probably worth mentioning. If you defeat enemies quickly enough, even though they've bit a Pikmin, like you saw there, it won't be able to eat the Pikmin. So it's all about fast reaction times. Now, there are some enemies that will eat Pikmin faster than others, so just be prepared for stuff like that if it should happen. And now we have it. I know this is one of the parts that you can actually see on the ship. That's always interesting. You can barely see it, it's in the upper right corner. Sagittarius, this is a gift from my son. He must be very worried about me. Yeah, you'd hope so. Actually, in Pikmin 2, you do get to see what some of his family members look like, that he mentions in this game a little bit. They basically all look kind of like him. More or less, because all Hockatadians seem to have big noses and big heads. Very interesting. I hope we get to see more of that in Pikmin 3. You know, I think this is the first time I've mentioned Pikmin 3 so far in this Let's Play, which is amazing considering I've been waiting for Pikmin 3 since forever. Hint, hint, Nintendo. Maybe sometime this year? No, probably not. Next year, maybe? Oh well, never mind. Wow, just look at them. They're tearing down that fence. Now you might notice, Olimar is just sunbathing right now. Well, underneath that leaf. He's just having a little bit of shade. How am I doing this? Well, any day after day 1, tap down on the D-pad and Olimar will lie down. Now, this function actually makes Olimar invincible to enemy attacks. And that's a pretty amazing strategy if you're just trying to fight something tougher and you're taking a ton of battle damage and want to make sure that Olimar is safe during a fight. Watch how it works here. I think we could probably get this Bulborb to try and bite us. Now, D-pad. See? No damage. It just, like, slides right over us and keeps on missing. And no, I'm not appreciating being teabagged by that Bulborb, but whatever. At least you've been educated. The things I do for my viewers. And now we just gotta wait for them to build that stick wall. No, contrary to popular belief, it does not help if you run up and try to punch the wall as Olimar, but if it makes you feel better, by all means, go ahead and do it. It's sometimes a nice stress reliever. Ah, there is something mysterious beyond that wall. What could that possibly be? And I just said beyond. Is that like a combination of behind and beyond? The world may never know. There, we're almost... Come on, come on. Work faster, damn it! Usually I don't complain about Pikmin's speed, but come on, thank you. Guess we could technically use bombs to take out this wall if we were clever. But, nope. Okay, Armored Cannon Beetle. Very dangerous enemy. To defeat it, throw Pikmin at that air hole right as it's sucking in air. If you don't, it will shoot out a big rock that can kill all of your Pikmin if it hits them. And then throw it back when it opens like this. That's really all you need to know. And if you do it quickly like I did, you can even defeat it in a single round. And believe it or not, before I knew how to defeat this enemy, it is literally invincible unless you use that air hole plugging trick. So I used to think it was invincible. At last, my radiation canopy. This turns the harsh radiation of deep space into soft infrared rays that are easy on the body. I'll sleep like a baby once I get this back to the ship. Okay, baby Olimar. So apparently this will help us from getting rads. And also carrying back that Armored Cannon Beetle is a really good idea. It's heavy, and therefore gives quite a lot of seeds upon its return. Wow, it's traveling really quickly for something that's like heavy metal. It's heavy metal! Yeah, occasionally I make references to Sir Ron Lionheart. He's a pretty awesome Let's Player. You might have heard of him, might have not. Now, I'm not sure if I'll ever get the chance to show you because there's only one more Armored Cannon Beetle left in the game for us to fight. But if you time your moves correctly with Olimar, you can actually punch the rocks apart. How awesome is that? And now we have the Radiation Canopy. And since this episode is pretty much at the end, after I read the description, it'll be next episode. Radiation Canopy. I'll have to inspect it later to make sure it hasn't cracked. I'll be in for even more trouble if I have any radiation leaks. Yeah, try filling them with dirt. Am I the first one to use that joke? Never mind. Anyway, see you next episode.